Every blessing you have been waiting for, every breakthrough you have been praying for is closer than you think. But there is one silent mistake, just one that keeps you from stepping into it. You may not even know you are doing it, yet it is holding back your favor, your success, and your destiny. Tonight, we are going to uncover it, confront it, and break it, because your life is too valuable to stay blocked any longer. Are you ready to remove what has been standing in the way of your miracle? Have you ever wondered why, despite your prayers, your hard work, your dedication, your life seems to be stuck in the same place? You keep trying, you keep striving, but the breakthrough you've been longing for, it hasn't come. And the truth is, most people never realize there is a hidden habit, the one habit that quietly sabotages every blessing meant for their life. You see, this habit is so subtle, so disguised in what feels like normal behavior that you may not even recognize it as harmful. Yet, it is powerful enough to block divine favor, to prevent opportunity, and to delay your destiny. Now, I want you to imagine something for a moment. Imagine standing at the edge of a vast river, the waters teeming with blessing, favor, prosperity. And right before you can step in, there is a small barrier, something almost invisible that stops you. You might laugh at it, you might ignore it, but until you remove it, you will never cross to the other side. That is what this habit does in your life. It is small, often hidden in plain sight, but it holds the power to stop the flow of everything God has prepared for you. And here is where most people go wrong. They think blessings are delayed because of lack of faith, lack of effort, or even lack of luck. But let me tell you, the real reason is rarely what you think. This habit is a subtle choice, repeated over time. It is a pattern, a response, a mindset that quietly tells the universe, I am not ready for more. And because of it, doors that should open remain closed. Opportunities that should arrive pass by unnoticed. And the moment you finally recognize it, the real question comes, will you act or will you let it continue to control your life? Think about it. How many times have you prayed, fasted, worked, and yet nothing changed? Perhaps you have been unknowingly nurturing this habit, thinking it was harmless, thinking it was normal, thinking it didn't matter. But the truth is, the moment you expose it, confront it, and change it, the flow of favor will begin to move in your direction, and it moves fast. You will start seeing doors opening, relationships transforming, and opportunities that once seemed impossible becoming your reality. But here is the catch. The moment you break free from this habit, you realize something else is waiting. Another hidden factor, another subtle obstacle, another key to unlock the next level. This is how life works. One revelation opens the door to the next. One truth leads to another. And if you are not prepared to continue looking, to continue discovering, you will remain trapped thinking you've done all you can, when in fact, the breakthrough is only steps away. Now, if you are ready to remove this hidden habit, to finally step into the blessings that have been waiting for you, pay close attention, because what I am about to reveal next will change everything. And it begins with understanding the one decision that blocks your life, even when you think you are doing everything right. Have you ever felt that no matter how hard you work, no matter how many prayers you pray, the blessings you expect never arrive? You wake up with hope, you take the steps, you follow the plan, and yet somehow your life remains unchanged. The reason is often closer than you think. You see, there's a principle, an unseen law that governs favor and blessings. And when it is blocked, nothing, I mean nothing, can flow into your life as it should. This is why so many people struggle, and this is why understanding it is so crucial. Now, I want you to picture this. You are holding a key in your hand, the key to unlock everything you have been waiting for, but you never use it. You keep it in your pocket, you keep it hidden, and the door remains shut. That key is your response to opportunity, your reaction to challenge, your willingness to receive what has been prepared for you. And most people don't even realize they are standing there, key in hand, yet powerless to open the door. The truth is, your blessings are being held back not because God is late, not because life is unfair, but because there is a choice, a very specific choice you make every day that unknowingly repels favor. It might look small, it might seem insignificant, but it is enough to close doors, to delay promotions, to stop relationships from flourishing, and to prevent your destiny from manifesting. It is the silent factor that makes some people struggle all their lives, while others seem to rise effortlessly. And here's the thing, the moment you recognize this, you begin to see the pattern. You start noticing times when you ignored guidance, or when you doubted, or when you chose convenience over purpose. Every single time that happened, the flow of blessing was blocked. It was not punishment. It was simply the natural consequence of a choice that goes against the principle of favor. Your life is a reflection of the decisions you make, not just your intentions. But this is where it gets even more interesting. Once you identify this block and begin to correct it, something extraordinary happens. Doors you never expected open, opportunities you never imagined arrive. Favor that seemed elusive begins to accelerate toward you. And suddenly, you realize that your life is not limited by circumstance. It is limited by choices, by small, often hidden choices that can either attract blessings or repel them. Yet, even as you start to remove this block, another challenge waits. Another layer of your thinking, another behavior, another subtle error that, if left unchecked, can hold back the next level of your life. Life works in stages. One breakthrough leads to the next discovery. One revelation exposes another truth. And if you fail to pay attention, to act, to adjust, you will remain stuck, wondering why the blessings you crave continue to elude you. So, if you are serious about finally allowing blessings to flow freely, you must confront this unseen block, remove it decisively, and prepare for the next revelation. Because what comes after this is what will determine whether your breakthrough is temporary or permanent. Have you ever stopped to think that one single decision could be the reason your life has not changed? The reason your blessings remain just out of reach? One choice, one moment, one decision, and suddenly your destiny is altered. You may not even realize it when you make it. It could be something as simple as saying yes when you should say no, or no when you should say yes, and yet that single decision holds the power to either unlock your favor or close the door to it entirely. Now, let me ask you this. How many times have you made decisions based on fear, doubt, or the opinions of others? How many times have you said, I can't, it's too risky, maybe later, and convinced yourself that waiting is safe? What you don't see in that moment is that you are building an invisible wall between you and the blessings that were meant to flow into your life. Every hesitation, every delay, every compromise sends a message to the universe: I am not ready. And until you change that, nothing changes. Think about it. Decisions are not just choices. They are declarations. They declare to the world, to God, to yourself, what you believe you are capable of receiving. And most people never take this seriously. They underestimate the power of a decision. They ignore the consequences. And yet, history is full of lives transformed or destroyed by a single decision. The same principle applies to your life today. The power of a decision is in its alignment with your purpose. When you make choices that reflect your true calling, favor begins to accelerate toward you. Doors that were once closed start to open. Opportunities appear where there was no way. Relationships align, resources flow. But make the wrong decision, even one, and the exact opposite happens. Doors close, opportunities vanish, relationships break, and your life can feel stuck, as if the universe itself has conspired against you. And here's the truth that most people fail to grasp. The wrong decision is often disguised as a safe decision. It looks harmless. It feels comfortable. It seems like the smart choice. But comfort is the enemy of destiny. Ease is the enemy of breakthrough. The right decision is rarely easy. It is bold. It is courageous. It challenges you, and it stretches your faith. It forces you to step out of your comfort zone and into the realm where miracles are waiting. But even when you make the right decision, the story is not over. Because life has a way of testing whether you are committed, whether you are consistent, whether you will follow through. And often, the next hidden obstacle is already waiting, ready to challenge your resolve and test whether you have truly embraced your breakthrough. So, if you want to move from stagnation to acceleration, from delay to manifestation, you must recognize the power of this one decision. And you must be willing to choose boldly, decisively, and in alignment with your destiny. Because the moment you do, everything changes. And what I am about to reveal next will show you the subtle habits that keep even the most courageous people from fully stepping into their purpose. Have you ever felt trapped in life, as if no matter how hard you try, something invisible is holding you back? Something unseen, yet undeniably real, that keeps your progress slow, your dreams delayed, and your blessings just out of reach? Many people go through life unaware that they are chained not by circumstances, not by other people, but by invisible forces they have allowed into their own thinking, their habits, and their patterns. And until you break free from these chains, nothing, I mean nothing, can flow to you as it should. Now, let me paint a picture for you. Imagine trying to run a race while wearing shackles on your ankles. You can move, you can struggle, but your speed is limited, your steps restricted, your potential unfulfilled. That is exactly what these invisible chains do to your life. They may be made of fear, self-doubt, procrastination, resentment, or habits you think are harmless. But together, they create a weight so heavy that no amount of effort, no matter how disciplined, can overcome it. And the most dangerous part, these chains often look normal. They feel like everyday life. You say to yourself, "This is just who I am," or "I have always done this." And you convince yourself that nothing is wrong. But what you don't realize is that every compromise, every negative thought, every small surrender strengthens these chains. And the longer you wear them, the harder it becomes to break free. You see, freedom is not accidental. Favor is not automatic. Blessings do not fall into the lap of someone who has not first removed what restrains them. The moment you identify these chains, the moment you confront them, is the moment you step into a new realm of possibility. It is a moment of awakening. And awakening is not always comfortable. It requires courage. It demands honesty. It calls for action. Here is something most people fail to understand. Breaking free is not just about removing the chains of the past. It is also about refusing to pick up new chains in the future. Many people break one chain only to allow another to take its place, because they do not change their mindset, their habits, their environment. True freedom requires transformation. It demands that you look at every thought, every action, and every decision through the lens of your purpose. But even when you begin to release these chains, life will test you. Old habits, old fears, old voices from the past will try to pull you back. And here's the most important thing to know. The test is not to punish you. It is to prove whether you are serious about stepping into the next level of your life. Will you hold fast, or will you slip back into what is comfortable, familiar, and safe? If you are ready to break free from these invisible chains, to finally move unhindered toward your destiny, then pay close attention, because what comes next will reveal the subtle, often unnoticed mistakes that can still sabotage your success, even after you think you are free. And understanding this will determine whether your breakthrough is temporary or permanent. Have you ever stopped to consider that the very actions you believe are helping you may actually be keeping you from reaching your full potential? That the things you do every day, the routines you call productive, the decisions you justify as safe or smart, could be silently sabotaging your destiny. Most people never realize that success is not just about effort. It's not about how hard you work or how many hours you put in. True success, true breakthrough, comes when your actions align perfectly with your purpose. And when they do not, you unknowingly block the blessings meant for you. Now, I want you to picture this. You are planting seeds in a garden. You water them, you care for them, you give them attention, but you plant them in barren soil. No matter how much you nurture them, no matter how much effort you invest, nothing will grow. And that, my friends, is exactly what happens when your actions are misaligned with your destiny. You may be doing a lot, but if it's not aligned with your purpose, it produces nothing. The most dangerous part of this mistake is that it often feels right. You convince yourself that if you just try harder, if you just keep moving, if you just keep working, success will eventually come. But effort alone cannot replace alignment. Favor cannot flow where it is not welcomed. Opportunities cannot open doors that are closed by the very patterns of your life. And the longer you continue this cycle, the more frustrated, discouraged, and trapped you feel. And here is what most people fail to see: the universe. The principles that govern destiny operate with precision. They are not influenced by good intentions, by busy schedules, or by frantic effort. They respond to purpose. They respond to alignment. They respond to decisions that honor your calling. And the moment your actions betray that calling, even slightly, blessings slow, opportunities delay, and favor becomes distant. But the good news is that once you recognize this, once you become aware of the habits, the decisions, the patterns that are out of alignment, everything can change. Awareness is the first step. Clarity is the second. And action, the bold, deliberate, purposeful action, is the third. When you take control and start to realign your actions with your true purpose, you will notice doors opening, relationships shifting, and opportunities appearing that were once invisible. Yet, even as you realign, there is another layer waiting to be uncovered. Another subtle mistake, another hidden pattern, another silent factor that can still block your breakthrough if left unchecked. Life is like peeling an onion. Each layer you remove reveals another. And if you are not prepared to keep going, to keep discovering, you will stop just short of your destiny, wondering why the change you long for has not fully arrived. So, if you are ready to stop doing what blocks your blessings, to finally act in alignment with your purpose, then pay attention to the next revelation. Because what I am about to share will expose the silent mistake that even purpose-driven people make. And it can either accelerate your success or keep it just out of reach. Have you ever wondered why, despite all your efforts, your life still feels stuck? You've prayed, you've worked, you've hoped, yet the breakthrough seems just beyond your reach. The truth is, there is one final mistake, one hidden trap, one silent barrier that keeps even the most diligent, the most faithful, the most determined people from receiving their full blessings. And this mistake is subtle. It hides in your mindset. It hides in your responses. It hides in the very way you perceive opportunity and favor. You see, the greatest obstacle to your breakthrough is not always external. It is not your circumstances. It is not other people. The real enemy is internal. The way you think, the way you react, the way you allow fear, doubt, and old habits to dictate your destiny. Every hesitation, every negative thought, every whisper of disbelief, it builds walls around you. Walls that no prayer, no effort, and no talent can penetrate. And until you confront this, you will continue to wonder why success seems just out of reach. Now, imagine a dam holding back a river. Behind it, water is ready to flow, ready to nurture, ready to transform the land below. But the dam remains silent, strong, unbroken. That dam is your internal resistance, the hidden mistake that blocks the natural flow of blessings into your life. And the longer it remains, the more frustrated, the more limited, the more discouraged you become. It looks harmless, even invisible at times, but it is powerful enough to control the trajectory of your life. The moment you recognize this, the moment you identify it, is the moment your freedom begins. Awareness is the key. Understanding is the first step. And then comes action, the deliberate choice to reject the patterns, the doubts, the habits that have held you back for so long. Because blessings are not given to those who remain passive. Favor flows to those who prepare, who position themselves, who open their hearts and minds to receive what has been waiting for them. And here is what most people miss. Even when you start correcting this mistake, life tests you. Old habits, old doubts, old fears will attempt to pull you back. The real challenge is not just to recognize the mistake, but to remain committed to change, to persist, to keep moving forward, even when the past calls you to return. This is where many fail, not because the blessing isn't available, but because they are unwilling to stay aligned long enough to receive it. So, if you are ready to break free, to finally step into your purpose, to allow the full measure of blessing to flow into your life, then take this moment seriously, because the power to remove this final barrier rests in your hands. And when you do, everything changes. Rise above fear, embrace faith, and claim what is rightfully yours. Step boldly into the destiny prepared for you. Release every chain that has held you back. Reject every doubt that whispers impossible. Align your actions with your purpose and watch the impossible become reality. Receive the blessing waiting for you, because nothing can stop what God has ordained. Your breakthrough begins today.